Welcome back to episode 34 of Let's Write. So today we're going to begin our little section dealing with world building. The prompt today is going to focus on exactly where in the world your story takes place. So the prompt is, think about the world of your story and where within that world your story predominantly takes place. Write about that place for 15 minutes. So for me, my story predominantly takes place in the town of Ishvara. Although the story will take place in other locations within the world, it mostly takes place in Ishvara. Now, we are going to write for 15 minutes, and it may not seem like a lot of time, but we will be coming back to what we've done here and expanding on it. So the goal here is maybe to think about it for about 5 minutes and then write for 10. Now, if you've already thought about it some, I suggest just writing for the full 15 minutes. Don't worry about thinking anymore. Just get the writing done. There's not necessarily a set format per se about how you organize it. Just kind of describe this place. So for me, it's a town. For you, it may be a forest or city metropolis, way in the future. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable and situated. And if you need more time, as always, you can pause the video. So once you get ready, let's write. Welcome back. So for me, this was very much a kind of stream of consciousness type of prompt. It may not make a lot of sense, but that's okay because we're going to flush it out at a later point in time. So let me introduce you to Ishvara. So most of the story is going to take place in the town of Ishvara. It's a fairly large town. The town is surrounded by a thick forest on 3 sides, and the other side is the road out of town. It is essentially surrounded by a forest and tall mountains. The forests are filled with hundreds and probably thousands of caves. The town itself is designed in a square with the town center containing the council house. The temple is in the very back of the town, furthest from the entrance. The streets of the town are neatly strategically designed, with them going both directions. So parallel to the road that enters town and perpendicular, but all the roads are straight. There is a poorer section of the town. When you enter the town, it's to the furthest left-hand corner, closest to the wall. But even though it is the poorer section of town, you can't tell just by looking at the buildings because even that area is very neat and clean. You tell mostly by the clothing of the people that live there and by what's inside the homes. But all of the houses are very sturdy and clean. I would say they're all very clean. Some of the nicer buildings will contain stone, like fancier stone, so things like marble, while the majority of buildings in town are just sturdy, strong stone, not necessarily fancy. The town contains a library, a small school, a bakery, a butcher shop, a marketplace, the temple, the council house, lots of taverns, houses of ill repute, and inn houses. There's, of course, personal homes as well and a few other shops. It honestly would be considered a very large town, but to places like Carnsalo that contain a large university and have a very large, thriving metropolis, it would be considered small. Now, there are several cisterns in the town that are fed from mountain streams. A lot of very unique and intricate engineering went into that to provide, nice, clean, filtered water for the town. The people who built Ishvara put a lot of work into making it as clean and livable and sanitary as possible. There is a large farm area and orchard outside of the walls of the town, and there's also a stable right when you come in. So if you come in by horse, you can leave your horse there. Or if you need to rent a horse, you can go to the stable to do so. So that is the town of Ishvara. Again, it's very stream of consciousness, and it definitely will be fleshed out later. So I hope you had a really successful time beginning to build your world, whether it was just to get kind of a brief idea like with me, or if you were able to finally get down on paper things that you had been thinking about for a while. So I look forward to reading what you've written. So as always, please feel free to send it in. I'm always happy and excited to read it. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. And that's all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.